The scriptural significance of Yahuah's people as his walking shufars in the Arats. In the scriptural narrative, trumpets serve as powerful symbols of communication, proclamation, and action. They are instruments used to signal significant events, announce commands of the Most High, and call people to attention. By analogy, we the called-out people of Yahuah are often portrayed as living trumpets, living instruments through which Yahuah's message is conveyed and his presence is made known. This metaphor highlights the role of believers not only as recipients of Yahuah's pardon, but as active participants in the unfolding of his purposes on earth. We are called to embody and declare near and far Yahuah's Torah in their daily walk. The role of trumpets in Scripture. Understanding the role of trumpets in the scriptural context provides a foundation for grasping the thought of believers as walking trumpets. Trumpets were used in the times of our ancestors for various purposes,
each reflecting different aspects of the Most High's interaction and human response. 1. Signaling Yahuah's presence and commands. In Scripture, trumpets are often used to signify the profound presence of Yahuah and the delivery of his laws, statutes and commands. The sound of the trumpet was an audible marker of Yahuah's actions and intentions. Let us read Shemot, Exodus 19:16-19. And it came to be, on the third day in the Bakar morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud on the mountain. And the voice of a shofar was very strong, and all the people who were in the camp trembled. 17 And Masha brought the people out of the camp to meet with Elohim, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. 18 And Mount Sinai was in smoke, all of it, because Yahuah descended upon it in fire. And its smoke went up like the smoke of a furnace, and all the mountain trembled exceedingly. 19 And when a voice of the shofar sounded long and became very strong, Masha spoke.
And Elohim answered him by voice. The trumpet blast at Mount Sinai marked the very important moment when Yahuah gave the Torah to Yasharal. The escalating sound of the trumpet was not merely a call but an emphatic declaration of Yahuah's impending revelation and his authoritative presence. It heightened the gravity of the encounter, signaling the seriousness of this engagement. 2. Calling to assembly and important events. Trumpets served practical functions such as calling the community to gather and marking the start of significant events. They were integral to the social and spiritual structure of Yasharal. Let us read Numbers 10. Verses 1-2, the Scriptures 2009. 1 And Yahuah spoke to Masha, saying, 2. Make 2 silver trumpets for yourself, make them of beaten work. And you shall use them for the gathering of the congregation and for breaking camp. The 2 silver trumpets were designed to manage the organization of the camp of Yasharal. They called the people to gather for worship or to move, symbolizing the Most High's order and direction. The use of trumpets to signal these events underscores their role in maintaining the order of communal and covenant living.
Three. Announcing mu'adim or festivals. The trumpet's role extended to the proclamation of significant observances of appointed times, such as festivals and celebrations. These events were marked by the sound of trumpets, symbolizing a fresh start in Yahuah's intervention. Let us read Bamidbar, Numbers 10, verse 10. And in the yom of your gladness, and in your appointed times, and at the beginning of your chief months, you shall blow the trumpets over your ascending offerings and over your slaughtering of peace offerings. And they shall be a remembrance for you before your Elohim. I am Yahuah your Elohim.
Netzarim as the walking trumpets of the Most High. The thought of Netzarim as walking trumpets suggests that our walk should reflect and broadcast Yahuah's Bashurah, embody his teachings through Yahusha HaMashyakh, and announce his presence and purposes. This role involves proclaiming the Most High's truth, calling dry bones to spiritual awakening, and living as witnesses of his power. Declaring Yahuah's Bashurah. Even as trumpets announce important messages, we are called to proclaim Yahuah's truth and communicate his message to his covenant people. Their lives and words should serve as a means of conveying the Most High's favor and truth. Let's read Mathath Yahu, Matthew 5:14-16, TS 2009, then 2 Corinthians 5 verse 20.
You are the light of the world. It is impossible for a city to be hidden on a mountain. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it shines to all those in the house. Let your light so shine before men, so that they see your right works and praise your Father who is in the Shemayim. Here, Yahusha describes the taught ones as the light of the world, indicating that their presence and actions should bring light to the truth of Yahuah. This metaphor aligns with the idea of being a walking trumpet, where Netzarim's lives are meant to visibly reflect and announce Yahuah's character and teachings. 2 Corinthians 5:20, TS 2009. Therefore we are envoys, ambassadors on behalf of Mashyakh, as though Elohim were pleading through us. We beg, on behalf of Mashyakh, be restored to favor with Elohim Yahuah.
As envoys, ambassadors for Mashyakh, we are tasked with representing and conveying Yahuah's message of reconciliation Teshubah, return to Yahuah. This role mirrors that of a trumpet in its function to announce and clarify important declarations, underscoring our role in making Yahuah's message known. Calling others to the awakening. The trumpet's role in calling Yahuah's people to assembly or alerting them to important events parallels our role in prompting others to spiritual awareness and return to Yahuah's covenant or Teshubah. Let us read YashaYahu, Isaiah 58 verse 1. Cry aloud, do not spare. Lift up your voice like the shofar. Declare to my people their transgression, and the house of aqabəb their crimes. YashaYahu is commanded to lift up his voice like a trumpet, signaling a bold and clear call to return to the Most High, Teshubah. This emphasizes the need for us to speak out about issues of right and wrong, truth or error, similar to how a trumpet sounds an alarm or call.
Let us read Yahusha, Ezekiel 33-6, TS 2009. But if the watchman sees the sword coming and shall not blow with the shofar, and the people shall not be warned, and the sword comes and takes any being from among them, he is taken away in his crookedness, and his blood I require at the watchman's hand. The watchman's role in sounding the trumpet to warn of impending danger highlights the responsibility we have as Yasharel to alert others of our people to spiritual dangers and the need for Teshubah, return to the covenant. This function underscores the urgency and accountability involved in the Netzar's role. Living as a witness to Yahuah's power and presence. Even as the trumpet's sound signifies the Most High's power and authority, we are called to live in a way that demonstrates Yahuah's power and presence in our lives. Let us read Ma'asam, Acts 1 verse 8.
But you shall receive power when the Ruach HaKodesh, Ruach of the Most High, has come upon you, and you shall be my witnesses in Yerushalayim, and in all Yehudah and Shamaron, and to the end of the earth. The promise of power through the Ruach of Yahuah equips us to be witnesses of his work. Our lives, empowered by the Ruach, should serve as a witness to the Most High's transformative power, much like the trumpet's sound signals his authority. Let us read Philippians chapter 2 verse 15. In order that you be blameless and faultless, children of Elohim without blemish in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. This passage calls us to live blameless lives, shining as lights in a morally compromised world. Our conduct should reflect Yahuah's righteousness and serve as a visible proclamation of his presence and values.
Proclaiming the reign of Yahuah, the trumpet's role in announcing significant changes or events is mirrored by our role in proclaiming the arrival of Yahuah's reign and the Bashurah. Let us read Luke 4 verses 18-19. The Ruach of Yahuah is upon me, because he has anointed me to bring the Bashurah to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to send away crushed ones with a release, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahuah. Yahusha's mission to proclaim Bashurah and freedom reflects the function of the trumpet in announcing the Most High's intervention and liberation. We are called to continue this proclamation, heralding the arrival of Yahuah's reign and the message of deliverance, salvation to his people.
When Natsarim live as walking trumpets, our influence extends to transformation in the lives of other people of the Most High. Our actions and words, reflecting Yahuah's principles, can lead to significant changes in the community. Living as walking trumpets calls us to personal accountability and to bear witness to our steadfast belief in Yahuah through our conduct. Our lives should consistently reflect our commitment to Yahuah's Torah. As we go through Yom Tharuah and the remaining Muadim, let us not forget who we are and what we are called to do. Shout to Yahuah with the voice of triumph. Finally, at the sound of the final trumpet, let us all strive to make it in that city. Let us walk worthy of the call on us. We must remain committed to the cause and focused on the purpose and promises of Yahuah. Shalom, aqaḍ.
We are the Natsarim of Yahuah.
And of course we say aqaḍ, which means
One love.
And we thank all our viewers and subscribers, all the family of the Most High, for viewing today's presentation.